If you're skinny fat, then you will have some body fat that you'd like to lose. Maybe it's around your belly, maybe it's around your chest, but you probably still have some muscle you'd like to gain. Bigger chest, bigger arms, bigger shoulders. Either way, you need to lose some fat and you need to gain some muscle, which means you're either going to go on a cut and lose some body fat and then do a bulk, or maybe you're thinking, well, I'm skinny, let's add the muscle first, let's go on a bulk. And given it's that time of year where it starts to get colder, winter's on the horizon, most people are going to lean towards doing a bulk. And the reason I want to make this video is I don't think that you should, especially if you're skinny fat. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why you shouldn't do this bulk and what you should be doing instead. And the first reason is kind of obvious if you think about it, and it's the most important reason in my opinion. And that is, if you go on a bulk right now, all those areas that you currently dislike, the lack of abs, maybe you've got a belly, wherever it is that you're holding body fat that's currently bothering you, is only going to grow and get worse. It's not going to shrink on a bulk. If you eat more food, if you eat more carbs, those areas are going to grow with you. Even if this bulk goes amazingly well and you actually do manage to gain muscle, which most men actually don't because they just overeat on the calories and they don't necessarily train properly, you're still going to end up with more body fat than you want throughout this whole journey. You're going to have to stick to it long enough to gain significant muscle to give you enough room to actually go on a cut. And then at the end of that bulk, you've got an absolute mammoth of a cut waiting for you. And even that could go wrong. You could go on a cut and be too drastic with your calories and drop your calories down too soon and start to go catabolic and lose muscle tissue. And you kind of get stuck in that bro cycle, jumping between cuts and bulks. I've done it. I'm speaking from experience. I've done it 3 times. I was going to say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But for me thrice, I was making lots of mistakes, right? And that's why I make these videos. Now, even recently, I actually had one of my old clients reach out and he said to me that he went and did a bulk on his own and it just didn't go to plan. He felt like he did it too soon, too extreme, and he realized that was a mistake. And now he has to go, unfortunately, back onto a cut to get back to where he was before. So if you're skinny fat and you go on a bulk right now, all those areas you dislike are going to get big and you're building yourself a bigger hole to fix at the end of it. And the other reason you shouldn't go on a bulk if you're skinny fat this time of year is that this time of year, there's a lot of temptations with food, right? You think, okay, it's winter, it's coming up to Christmas, where's the mince pies? Pumpkin spice lattes are back. Let's get on it. And that generally means that you're just probably going to eat loads of food, tell yourself you're bulking, and just gain more fat again. Now, I've actually got a friend that does this every single year, and I recently saw him, and he was telling me that he's almost finished his cut, and he's ready for this bulk. And when he takes his shirt off, his body fat's still like 25%, which is quite high if you're thinking about going on to a bulk. Now, he's actually in very good shape, but he keeps complaining about the body fat around his belly, the fact he can't see any muscle definition, he's got love handles, he doesn't really like taking his shirt off. Yet, he's deciding to go on a bulk again and add more body fat, so when it gets to next year, he's going to spend the next 2-3 months going backwards to then have to spend another 2-3 months getting back to where he was right now. And again, that is if he doesn't miss the gym and makes 0 mistakes. Now, let's say you actually did do a bulk this time of year and let's say it goes perfectly well and you gain loads of muscle ready for 2026. At what point do you think, okay, right, I've done a bulk and I'm going to go on a cut? Because 3 months isn't really a long enough time to add a significant amount of muscle, especially if you're going to do a cut at the end of it. So you probably need to bulk between now and say, end of March next year, which means you're cutting it very close to being into summer weather where it starts to get warmer, and then you're going to have to rush and panic and try and get shredded for summertime. Now, if you've already got body fat in your body now that's stubborn and hard to get rid of, and you go on a bulk, you're going to have even more of it by then. And a lot of people are going to go, oh, yeah, no, but you got more muscle and it's easier to burn calories. And that is true. More muscle will help you sustain a higher metabolic rate and you'll need more maintenance calories. But it's not going to be some secret hack that gets you shredded in 5 minutes, especially if you've added a bunch of body fat that you haven't previously gotten rid of. So look, obviously, bulking is not going to be preferable if you're skinny fat, right? If you're just skinny and you're like, oh, do you know what, man? I've got no body fat. I can see my abs. I'm shredded. I'm 9% body fat. Go on the bulk. Definitely go on the bulk and take it one step at a time. Don't rush it. But if you're skinny fat, that's obviously not the case. Now, what if you are skinny fat and you do want to add muscle, but you still have fat that you want to lose? It's coming up to winter and you're thinking, well, what do I do? Here's my suggestion. And this isn't just something that I'm pulling out my ass. This is something I've done over 180 times now. Obviously, I'm going to whack up some photos for social proof. These guys have done exactly what I'm going to break down for you right now. Drum roll, please. A recomposition. Really obvious, really simple. But, when you say recomposition, people think, oh, do I eat at maintenance and I try and gain some muscle? And, that can work if it's your first day in the gym. But most skinny fat dudes have probably been trying to gain muscle and trying to lose fat and not really getting anywhere. So recomposition, how I would go about this, you need to know your maintenance calories and you need to have a small calorie deficit. And I will repeat that again, a small, on poco, right? A little for those Spanish people, a small calorie deficit. And I say this from the top of the hills over and over again because so many dudes will drop their calories down massively. I've had clients that have come to me and they've said, oh mate, I've been trying to lose weight. I used to eat 800 calories a day and I'm just not getting anywhere with it. I keep falling off and I'm just going backwards, forwards. I'm losing 10 kg and then putting on 15. That's because a lot of that scale weight is the fact you're just not eating food. It's not necessarily fat loss, and sometimes it's muscle loss included. That's carbs and glycogen and water weight and the fact you're eating less volume of food, so you're going to weigh less. So when you do inevitably crash and give in because your body can't last on 800 calories back to back for months on end without getting ill, you're going to binge, you're going to put it all back in, and then the scale's going to go right up, you're going to feel like a failure, and you're just perpetuating and strengthening thoughts that you can't do it. So a low calorie deficit that's too extreme, it's unhealthy, unsustainable, and it's going to mess with your head, and it's going to cause more problems, and you will lose muscle. What you want to do is work out your maintenance, have a slight calorie deficit, track it so you know that you're actually hitting it. You can't just assume, you need to know these numbers, and train with strength in the gym. If you're getting stronger in the gym and your calories are in a smaller calorie deficit and those are guaranteed numbers, you're tracking it, it's accurate, you're in a deficit, you're going to lose body fat because you're eating enough to sustain your performance in the gym and high enough protein, you can still gain muscle. This is what Reese did. It did take 12 months, but this is entirely a recomposition. He completely fixed the skinny fat physique doing a recomposition, no bulk included, and he gained a significant amount of muscle. Same with Matt. And he actually started around Christmas time, believe it or not, which is hilarious. It was like 2 weeks before Christmas. He was like, yeah, let's start this diet. And I was like, pretty ballsy, but let's get on with it. And he did it. This photo here is only 4 months, I believe, about 16 weeks between these two photos. He lost a significant amount of belly fat and he still gained more muscle and definition in his upper body, entirely in a recomp around 2 holidays, Christmas and an anniversary. So no excuses from Matt. Very, very good. And then Matthew as well. Matthew, you know, this is a quite fast one as well. This is about 14 weeks. He just locked in recomposition, and as you can see, he's a lot more muscular. Same with Tom, no bulk included, just a recomp. So a slight calorie deficit, which makes it more sustainable, healthier, and better energy and better performance, better recovery for the gym, and you can still gain muscle. Now, the reason we track it is your body will get used to that. That small deficit, your body will slowly become accustomed to it. So we either increase the performance and overload in the gym to give your body a reason to keep burning excessive calories, or you will eventually need to drop those calories gradually. So yeah, you might end up going down to like 1,800 calories, 1,600 calories, getting to the lower numbers. But if you suddenly just throw yourself in at the deep end and go to those numbers straight away, you might last a week or so because you've still got residual carbs and glycogen from the previous diet you had, but eventually you're going to run on empty. It's too much, too soon. You'll go catabolic. Your sleep's going to be terrible. You're going to get constipated. You're going to feel like shit and you're going to stop and fall off. Too extreme means you're not going to stay on track long enough. Gradual, one step at a time, it's going to get you there. So instead of going, hey, let's just jump on that bulk, bro, and just use it as an excuse to be lazy and eat loads of shit and drink all those pumpkin spice lattes, which I'm a fan of, I ain't gonna lie, and going backwards and then getting to January going, oh man, now I'm overweight and I feel like shit, but I'll just keep bulking, you're going to get to summer and think, what the hell have I done? That's what my friend does every single year, and I think this is the 10th time he's doing it. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're never going to learn. So take it from me that's made this mistake 3 times and fixed over 180 skinny fat physiques. Start now with a recomposition, lock it in, and finish the job. Don't jump from cut to bulk. Don't get stuck in that bro cycle. Focus on finishing the recomp, because by the end of it, you'll be bigger, leaner, and stronger. You would have fixed the skinny fat physique, and then once you are significantly leaner, you can reverse diet to your new maintenance calories, which will be higher because you've gained muscle, and then work your way into a slight small surplus. You can make lean muscular gains for a longer period of time whilst keeping that body fat to an absolute minimum. Then you can actually bulk through summer, which is when most of the times you want to go out and have hot dogs and drink beer. I mean, I'd rather bulk through summer than winter, to be quite frank with you. That way you're always shredded for summer and you can enjoy your summer and relax. And then when it's quiet and nothing's going on in winter, that's the time to get on with it. So I hope this helps. If you're skinny fat, this is the best strategy. I've been doing this for a very long time. If you want some one-to-one help from me, like my clients have had, you can book a call with me down below. If you want to message me and ask me any questions, you can message me on Instagram at Elite Transformation Project. And if you need to know your calories, I do have a free calorie calculator in the bio to make sure you work those numbers out correctly and get the macronutrient splits right. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe you enjoy whatever one's over here. Please don't bulk and mess it up. I don't want you commenting on my videos in 5 months like, you were right, what do I do now? And it's like, right, well, we've got to spend 5 months getting back to where you were. Do it right the first time, you'll save a lot of time, you'll be happier for it, and it's just better, isn't it? Cheers.